Hello everyone, this is Jason for Primetime Aquatics, and in this video I wanted to bring you some really cool tanks. Some of them are native to North America, some of the fish are from South America, some are even from Asia. But one of the cool lessons that I think we can learn is that some of these fish are actually sold and they get humongous, and it's probably not something that most of us can keep in aquariums. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't seen some of the other videos that we've done recently of some really massive tanks, we did one with a 16,000 gallon tank and another one where we talked about a 3,000 gallon discus tank. So some really cool stuff I will put in the description below if you haven't seen it yet. Hope you enjoy the video. Thanks for being here. I wanted to show you some of the tanks. Again, this is coming from the National Wildlife Museum and Aquarium in Springfield, Missouri. It was a fantastic place. If you haven't seen the other videos I've already done on the 3,000 gallon discus tank and the 16,000 gallon tank I showed you a couple weeks ago, I will put them in the upper right hand corner as well as in the description below. They are highly worth checking out. All of these tanks, as you will see throughout this video and in the other videos I've already done, were absolutely magnificently maintained in every aspect in terms of fish health and the cleanliness of the tanks and just the overall displays. And I wanted to take you around some of the tanks I have not yet shown you. And I'll still have one more video I think I'm going to do of some of the largest tanks in this entire aquarium coming up for you next week. So here, these are freshwater tanks for the most part. These are tanks that are primarily from with fish from the Americas, whether that's North America or South America. And again, as we look through these tanks, what you're going to notice is, one, how clean they are, and two, how massive some of these fish are, whether we're talking about gar or some of the carp or the large and smallmouth bass that we see throughout. And I've got some really cool fish I'm going to show you at the end of this video that I think you're going to like. They were absolutely massive. But when we're looking at these North American, South American type tanks, it really is amazing the diversity in terms of body form that you see, the shapes of the fish. I know the coloration isn't quite as vibrant as some of the fish that you would find, like let's say in South America or Asia or Australia or certainly Africa. But these fish have their own charm. They have their own just really cool look. And what was so wonderful about the tanks that we're looking at here is the multiple perspectives that we get to see. So often you could see them from the traditional view through the glass, but so many of these larger displays also had viewing from the top, and it just provides a different perspective. And like I said, a lot of these fish were really, really large. And these fish have always fascinated me. These are the sturgeon. Some of the species can get 8 to 10 feet long, weigh hundreds of pounds, and live for many, many decades. They are remarkable fish. Now, some species don't get quite as large, and I can remember when I was a kid walking into pet stores and you would actually see sturgeon in fish tanks, not quite this size. I'm sure the species that they were holding in those tanks were probably not going to reach a max size of 8 feet, but they are extremely interesting, and they can be quite active in the right environment. They spend a lot of time near the bottom of a tank. And I really enjoyed a lot of these displays. The way they use the rocks and the substrate and the backgrounds, these 3D backgrounds were absolutely fantastic. They can add so much to a tank. By the way, if you want to see another really cool natural North American biotope type of video with a lot of cool tanks, check out the video in the upper right hand corner when we were at the Cleveland Aquarium. They had some really nice tanks. This I just threw in here. It's not from the Americas. I just think they're cool brackish water fish, the monos. And the cylindrical tank is interesting because a number of times when I've seen these cylindrical tanks, when you have fish that are active and they're schooling, they'll do this all day. They just swim around in a circle like they've got somewhere to go, and it's a really interesting thing to observe. So I don't generally like cylindrical tanks, But when they have the right fish, it can be a very interesting look. The last thing I want to show you is super cool. This fish was somewhere in the neighborhood of probably 7 feet or so. The arapaima in this tank were absolutely massive. These were large tanks, many, many, many thousands of gallons. I like the look of the tank. It was pretty interesting. So I just wanted to take you around, show you some of these other really cool fish tanks that were in the National Museum and Aquarium. Again, I will put the information down there in the description below. Hope you enjoyed the video. Appreciate you being here. If you did enjoy it, share, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.